So good morning, everyone. So this is Michelle Hoskin, aka Little Miss Wow, and today I've got a very special guest on my Wow Hour, a little bit different to normal. So I'm interviewing Sarah Whitelaw, who, for those of you that never had the privilege of meeting her when she was in the UK, was a little superstar for Nucleus, and has recently moved over to Australia, actually a year today, right?
Yes.
Day. Oh my God, it's gone so quick. So I'd like to introduce you to Sarah. She's the most beautiful girl I know in financial services. So I would like to hand over and just say, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me.
Is it sunny? What time of year are we in Australia at the moment? Because it's highly.
Yeah, it's winter, but it was 24 degrees today, so yeah.
So coming from Scotland, this must be a bit of a flipping body blow for you to be in warm.
Oh yes. Oh yes. I think, well, obviously we got here at the tail end of winter last year, so I must admit I was pretty cold, and I did pack accordingly. I genuinely thought it was going to be beautiful. I packed all my clothes into big boxes that were getting shipped over, and I literally just had, sandals and vest tops and things. So yeah, practical. But
Are we talking winter boots, full on ski jacket, cold, or are we?
No, I've got a light jacket on with a scarf. But yeah, nothing crazy like hats, gloves, things like that. So
It's funny, right? Because when I like every so often, and I kind of just make sure that my life is on track to where my life should be. And I literally read through my little, like, my notes and my business plan and my life plan. And I actually wrote in it that I want to wake up somewhere warm every day. And I'm not kidding. Yesterday in Hitchin, it rained from the second I woke up to the second I went to bed. And I actually thought, I don't think I want to live in this country anymore. So I'm actually quite interested in the whole thing that you have done. I mean, to be fair, if Martin wasn't Ruby's dad and he lived around the corner, would have been long gone, like big time. I'd have packed my suitcases and shipped out. So what's it like living in Australia?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, it's been a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And I suppose because it had been on the cards for a long, long time, it wasn't initially to move completely. It was, I had so many people, including like advisors and things like that, say to me at events, "Oh, just go and do it. It's an amazing place." I've been telling loads about it. But what I didn't contemplate was those people had gone for holidays or, a month or two or things like that. So expectations were pretty high, to be honest. And I came here and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit like, is this it? To be honest, but I have grown to love it. It's taken a long time, and I think, to be fair, I was kind of the main driver in this. It finally got to a point that I thought, do you know what? I then ended up getting sponsored, so that was great.
Yeah.
And I've got a passport for Australia, so it kind of
just. I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah. So my mum was born here, and I obviously kind of get it through descent. So yeah, I had it for a long time, about 3 years or something. Yeah, so it just kind of felt like something that I had to do eventually, and last year it came to the point that I just had to go and do it. And I'm not getting younger, so might as well do it now at my age.
Hardly old. I think given the audience that's going to listen to this, don't we start pissing them off straight away? Like I'm just getting on. They're like 60 and they're listening to you going, shut up.
I just like
one eyebrow.
To do it, a decent age. So yeah, here I am, and it's been pretty cool. Yeah.
So you with obviously, because I'm not that I'm a novice, but so with an Australian passport, you can live in Australia.
Yeah.
Just live, just like wherever.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I've got dual nationality, so it's pretty easy as walking park, because I wouldn't have done the whole backpacking and
work. I'll be honest, I don't know you that well, but I kind of get the fact that you're not a backpacking kind of girl.
No. So yeah.
Your wardrobe on Instagram, I'll be like, I've never seen you in the same outfit twice. So you must have boxes of clothes. So Aaron had to get sponsored. So Aaron's your boyfriend, right?
Yes.
So who sponsored him? How did that
So
work?
yeah, so the company he's working for just now sponsored him. So that came about quite quickly, to be honest. You know, he kind of just went online. I think it was through like Seek or Indeed or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
And they were looking for well, they were able to support a 457 sponsorship. So he wanted to go down that route just in case, well, I didn't know how long I wanted to be here for originally. Yeah, so he just wanted that as a bit of security. So yeah, he's still at the place he's sponsored at, and yeah, it's good.
So how long will that last for then? So his sponsorship, is it for a period of time or just ongoing?
So it's originally for 4 years, but recently the government here have been doing a lot of changes. So things have been a bit up in the air,
Right.
but I'm pretty sure that he's still under the 4 years, and then after the 2 years, he can then apply for permanent residency. So yeah, we'll take that as it comes.
Yeah, no, totally. A friend of mine, well, a friend of my ex-sister-in-law, she's having to sit A-level English for her Australian. Like,
Yep, Aaron had to do that too.
did he?
Yeah.
Bloody hell, that's a biggie, isn't it? It's like, and I know it was funny because the thing was, like, I was lucky enough to do a little tour around Australia, and I absolutely loved it. To be fair, I hated Sydney with an absolute passion, and I think because by the time I got to Sydney, I was exhausted. And it was just too busy for me. And I loved Adelaide. And I was chatting to them, and they were like, "Yeah, they want to put us in some godforsaken hole like Adelaide." And I was like, "I loved Adelaide." They're like, "We want to go. We want to live in Sydney." So what's Sydney like? Obviously, is living in Sydney is very different to a fly-in 3-day visit.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's got the Bondi Beach and Manly and things like that, quite popular places. To be honest, I think I absolutely love my flat and where I live. Sorry, they call it a unit here.
Do they?
Yes. So I reckon if we lived, kind of inner west area or further up north, something like that, and I had a massive commute to get to work, which is not what I'm used to,
No.
then my whole kind of arrangement would be completely different.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm lucky enough to live where I live. So yeah, it's been cool. It's it takes me 8 minutes to get to work. Which is,
and I bet you're always late, because literally Ruby's school is 2 minutes away, and we're always there on the bell. So I'm the closest parent's child to the school, and we're never on time.
Oh no, unfortunately, I'm uber punctual. So
oh yeah, super organised.
Early and things like that. So yeah, it's cool. I love my flat. So yeah.
Bloody hell! So obviously, I know bits about you from spending time with you when we did the Nucleus store. So just tell everybody about what your job was at Nucleus, because I always, your job working with Nicola when we did the Illuminate events. Obviously, that must have been just the tip of the iceberg from the bit I saw you doing. So tell us a bit about what your background is.
Yeah, so I started at Nucleus at a young age, and I was there for 7 years, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was an amazing experience from start to finish, and I started off working in the office team. So I think just from start to finish, it's all the people that I've kind of met and the mentors that I've had along the way.
Yeah.
I've been given a great opportunity, and so I started off there. I was working alongside Rebecca Christensen, who was the comms director then.
Yeah.
And she was a massive inspiration to me. I genuinely feel like I kind of found my feet with her.
Yeah.
And knew kind of what my skill sets were and the direction I was going to go in. And then so I was doing kind of events and marketing stuff quite early on, and I think I went to my first Belfry in 2010 or 11, something like that. So yeah, it was pretty full on. I absolutely loved it, and I definitely found my niche there. And then just kind of developed it more into the role. Was doing kind of comms, marketing, work with Faith when she joined. Got into the brand. So honestly, I did a lot of stuff. Operational comms and things like that as well. So I just kind of had it all coming to me from all angles.
You're not fazed by that at all, though, are you? Like, I just remember our sort of train conversations. It's just like, whatever. Like, just send it my way, and I'll, that's kind of what I suppose that's what struck me about you. That was that whole, well, I'll just roll my sleeves up and get cracking. Well, we'll learn it.
I love it. Yeah, I love just learning new things and advising along the way. I think I tend to think I like to pick things up easily, and people see that in me and quite reliable with it as well. So and then obviously the last couple of years with Nucleus as an events manager, so that was pretty cool, just to head into the events and traveling. Loved it. Loved going up and down the UK with you guys and all these speakers, inspirational people. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
So because obviously I get inspired by certain people, as we all do. I think people underestimate, like you've mentioned there about Rebecca, and we know Gary and David at Nucleus, and there's Barry and his crazy taste in music, and but all these people have obviously shaped you professionally, haven't they? And I think bosses, particularly in firms, like the guys, even the guys that we know, they don't quite ever really get and understand how important it is to inspire those people that work with you. So tell me, like really, how do you, like, if you could literally write it down in a list, or however you did it, wrote down the things that you've taken away from the people that have inspired you the most, what would those things be? Because I think people underestimate that massively.
Yeah, I would say from Rebecca, she was a great manager. About that. She took the time out with me. I was actually reminiscing a couple of weeks ago, and I texted her and I just said, thinking about the times that we meet for breakfast, because I was doing a communications course at that time. She's meeting me for breakfast at Starbucks. We would go over my kind of coursework and things like that for a good hour and a half. So things like that really, really meant a lot to me as I was growing within the company.
Yeah. So time, just actually spending proper time with you.
Yeah. And she clearly seen something in me. So that gave me spark as well. So that made me want to be the best I could be for her and the company and things like that. I'd say, David, to be honest. Now, certainly as I've come away and I'm reflecting over here, I love how he obviously started the company, but he knew exactly the company identity.
Yeah, he knew what he wanted, didn't he? He could see it.
And he knew it started from the people, and that's dead important. I've taken that away with me just now. And probably the brand side of things as well. I love brand and how, everything's brand, so I've taken that away with me, and he still is inspirational actually to me just now. The podcast he's been doing lately and things like that. Yeah, it's cool to see these things happening still. What else? I'll try. It's just little traits out of everybody. Different management styles that I've taken away.
I get it. I totally get it. And I put a tweet out not long ago, and it was basically what I was trying to get across was, just bear in mind that somebody's watching you somewhere. Like, your behaviours, the things you do, the things that you say, the little presentations, and I've had messages from people years on saying that they saw me at some event in 2010, and I don't remember the event, but they remember the moment. You know what I mean? So I think it's something, whilst you're still learning, and we all are. I think you have to understand how inspirational you are. Like, but this is a total, and I didn't tell you when we were chatting earlier, but like, I had a bit of I had a bit of an identity clothes crisis about, I don't know, 6 months ago. And I was like, right, I'm going to get myself a personal shopper. I'm now nearly 40. And then I was like, right, what would Sarah wear? And I swear to you, do you know the picture? And I didn't tell you at the time, but you know the picture, I'll have to send it you, with me with the antlers behind my head when I was in America, and I had my skinny jeans on with my yellow shoes, my high heels. That was you. That was all you.
Oh.
Right? And I literally, I did. I was like, right, Sarah can do it, so can I. Right, nearly 40, and I can pull it off. And honestly, so I think you've got to bear in mind now that, you know, it's not just me, but there's probably people that are inspired by you.
Yeah.
And it's great, really. I was like, that, this is Sarah. What would Sarah wear like? And I literally lay them on my bed, these clothes, and I was matching my. So it's good. It's really good. So you should be very proud of yourself.
Yeah, no, I definitely think, obviously, you know, coming from Nucleus and then doing the jump to the other side of the world and starting doing what I'm doing now, there's a lot of things that have come into play that I didn't think that would happen to me.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I think, you know, I suppose over here I've complained a couple of times to Aaron about my identity. I'm like, who am I these days? You know, I'm just all this stuff and honestly, what am I wearing? And, you know.
What's that with us girls? We have like crises at the drop of a hat. Like, I don't know who I am anymore. I need to find myself.
Yeah. Yeah. I know.
Oh, I'm really proud. So, but obviously, you know, going all that way, you like we mentioned it just before, but you know, you've had to really figure out who the hell you are, and pretty quickly, I'd have thought.
Yeah, definitely. I think I've always, you know, found myself with a lot of confidence, especially in Nucleus. I suppose having all these people around me. You know, I used to be able to get up and you know, speak to the whole office basically at a 444 and all this kind of stuff. And yeah, just confident. I was confident. Obviously, going down on tour with you guys, speaking to a bunch of advisors, you know, just confidence. And I've come over here, and my goodness, it's yeah. And a lot of that comes from obviously different cultures. So. You know, you guys, well, you know, Nucleus, Scottish people, that kind of thing.
You kind of know what you're getting, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. And I could completely be myself and talk really fast, as you do. But, and obviously, coming over here, the accent's been a bit of an issue.
What accent? You ain't got an accent. I bet they're like, where are you from? Like, they have no idea, do they?
I'm Irish. Get it every week.
I'm Irish. You're so Irish. Oh my God.
But yeah, I think obviously just when you're kind of, you know, think you're getting somewhere and you know, an accent comes up, you're just like, oh, come on.
Yeah. But that's going to be forever, though. That's going to be constant. That's never going to go, is it? Either as you meet new people, but it's not. Like you could, you know, you're going to be the way you are. You could live in Australia for 50 years and you'll still talk like you do. It's just how it is.
Yeah. So I suppose that's kind of an automatic. You don't kind of warm up to people as much.
No.
I suppose in hindsight, yeah, I could have thought about that a bit more, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think that'd be a problem at all.
No.
So that kind of faced me head on. Other things, I don't know. Just, I suppose I found a kind of good group at work. Kind of round about my age, and yeah, they're quite a nice support network.
Yeah.
Similar to me as well, you know, love music and all that kind of stuff. So it's nice having that, definitely.
I bet.
Completely different though to the friends that I kept at Nucleus. So yeah, it's been a challenge, I'm not gonna lie.
Because presumably anybody that you meet almost becomes family, friends, work colleagues, your support network. So they've kind of got a big old job, haven't they?
Yeah.
Like I mean, I didn't move to Australia, but when I lived in Nottingham, I mean, I was 19 and moved to London, I didn't know one
Yeah.
single person, but I swear to you, it's been the absolute shaping of me. It's made me become the person that, if I'd have stayed at home and got married and had 2 kids and lived in a, two up, two down in Nottingham, like most of my friends did, really, this has shaped me totally into them. I mean, this year, so you've got an anniversary, so this year has been my equal year, so I lived in Nottingham as long as I've lived here. So I'm now literally smack in the middle. So before it's always been, well, yeah, I'm from Nottingham, but and you'll have there'll be a point where you're like, I've lived here longer than I was in Scotland.
Yeah, no, really.
It is. So okay, so out of all the things that you've learned, so what have you learned about yourself? Because obviously you've changed, and as you get older, you realise that this is who I am. I've learned this about myself, but in a supporting environment like you had, you never probably needed to kind of step up a bit, really, personally. So what have you learned about yourself that you just think, well, that's who I am? Never knew that before, but I am that person now.
Yeah, so I think going into my current role just now, I've had to, well, I would say kind of the coach in me has come out, if you like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is great, because that's kind of the direction I want to go in. So that it's given me kind of like a fast track to that, if you like.
Yeah.
So that's a great opportunity. I suppose in the back of my mind, I had that, that was kind of one of my goals in the next couple of years, was to get to that stage. So definitely that's been a great thing for me.
Yeah.
I've been recently, I was on a course there about kind of business consultation.
Yeah.
It was absolutely lovely to be around like-minded people, and what I kind of thought about that was all the nucleus events, and that's what they're for, and that's something that I definitely need to do a lot more of. You can get so caught up in kind of work to home and all this kind of stuff, and because I'm the only person that kind of does what I do at work, it's dead easy to kind of slip away and just kind of work on your own thoughts all the time. So yeah, that was lovely. Definitely finding a niche there when it came to all the kind of people and culture and brand, and be able to use what I've learned and put into practice, put into play, basically. So that's been great. Good achievement there.
Yeah, no, really good. And you literally are starting from scratch, because you've got to build your network and your connections straight away. I mean, I think we need to do another one of these, in another 6 months, and almost continue your journey. Because I think, like I said to you before, there's a lot of people stuck in jobs they hate, in relationships they don't like, living in parts of the towns that they just don't want to live in. And okay, you had it slightly easier in with the passport situation, but even still, to go literally cold turkey on your life, which is what you did, it takes huge amounts of balls to do that. I've got total respect for what you've done. And Aaron, I mean, you mentioned before about your finding yourself coaching Aaron. So tell me a little bit about kind of that dynamic between you and Aaron, and because I'm an alpha female too, and most of the world can't handle us, but that's their loss, I think. But tell me a bit about that.
Yeah, so he worked for Edinburgh Airport, and working for a big international company called Babcock. And yeah, he was there for a good 4 years, I think it was. He loved his job, there was no doubt about that. So I think for both of us coming over here, the expectation was pretty high to find a job we love.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously he was sponsored through the garage first off, so we knew exactly where he was going to. Yeah, and I think he's definitely become one of the kind of senior mechanics, if you like, there. And he's loving the fact that he's working on more things, he's learning new things, more of a kind of European specialist and things like that. So but yeah, I'm kind of coaching him because he's at a stage that he's like, I want to see what else I can do, and not just the manual stuff. So yeah, we've had endless conversations, about next level, see what's on LinkedIn, get his LinkedIn up and going, and just look at the market. And there's no wrong in that. It's not like he's jumping ship, but it's just for kind of self progression.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been coaching on that, seeing what's out there, seeing what's here in Australia as it is, where he can possibly use his skills, but also find out what he loves.
Yeah. Which is absolutely actually one of the most important things, isn't it? So he's finding himself too.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, we'll just see where that goes. But yeah, coaching him as well. So
I mean, ultimately, I suppose also in a way, like, you know, and I'm just kind of thinking about my own situation and how that relates to what you did. But, you know, like when I was at home and you were in Scotland, when I was in Nottingham, you're a big fish in a small fish bowl. I mean, ultimately, you then go and drop yourself in the middle of Australia. You're a tiny little, you know, tadpole in this huge pond. But what's exciting about that is that you've got all that to explore. You know what I mean? So it's the same as the sort of feelings I had when, you know, I didn't go to Australia, but I did move away from home. So it's amazing for both of you, because you mentioned before, but, you know, how's your relationship been moving over? Because that must have been tricky at times.
Yeah. A lot of people, you know, kind of new people that we've met over here, they always ask, "Oh, so you came over with your partner?" I was like, "Yeah." How is that? You know, so
is it lasting? Have you strangled each other yet? No.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like a make or break situation, apparently. But I'm glad to say that, you know, it's not felt like that for us. And yeah, if anything, we've got closer because you don't have anyone else getting involved, you know, in your relationship, or, you know, it's literally just you and your partner. So yeah, we've got a lot closer, I think. It's nice exploring new things together as well. So
he's still punching way above his weight, and you can tell him, Aaron, you're punching way above your weight. You look after her. She's very important cargo. I'm glad. I'm really glad. And, you know, from sort of Facebook and social media, you can kind of see that, because the thing is, like, just thinking about relationships generally, like, there's so much other people's shit that drop on you, you know, family stuff, friends, expectations. And actually, it's almost like a brand new clean slate, which I think I swear everybody needs it at certain points in their life to almost like wipe out the stuff that is nonsense in their lives. And a move to Australia is definitely that. Definitely.
Extreme, but yeah.
yeah. Well, we don't do things by halves, let's be honest. We could just cull a few people, but no, we moved to the other side. Like, if you don't like us, you don't ever have to see us again. We're off. But don't you think, though, because I had it, but don't you think, though, that the people that really care about you, and actually the people that you really care about, you still keep in touch with?
100%, and I think that goes for so you've probably seen on social media as well that I became a bridesmaid for my best friend. Literally, like,
I did, yes.
Literally a month before I left to come here. So, you know, that was pretty full on, and I think for me, and you're probably quite like me, you don't like missing out on things.
No. Totally.
So, yeah, so that's been pretty difficult. Obviously, people getting on with their lives, and you're not involved anymore.
No.
You kind of get forgotten about a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, to be fair though, our relationship is, if not stronger, coming over here, and that goes for my friend who lives in Peterborough as well. You know, I used to only see her a couple of times a year, but
anyway,
nothing's changed.
Of course not, because you'll still see it when you come over in a few weeks or whatever it is. So it's not a lot different. And the thing with technology, social media, it's like, I know where you are, but it's like you've not gone anywhere.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. You know? But yeah, you do miss out on all the, you know, the events that they get to celebrate back home, all with your friends.
I get that.
I'm always like, take an iPad and I'll join.
Do FaceTime when the candles are being blown out. Oh, I think it's great. Really, honestly, I really do. Like, I think you're brave, and I think there's a lot of people that could take guide from you in terms of what you've done. And actually, I always say, like, what's really, you know, what's the worst thing that can happen? You die. Well, let's be honest. the chances of that happening are slim. I mean, really. Like, the team will freak out when something bad happens. I go, has anybody died and are we critically ill? No and no, then we'll get over it. I've forgotten to phone a client back. It'll be fine. Let's not panic. So I think, I think what you've done is great. And I think you are an inspiration. And I think, there will be probably more tricky times. And I think the coaching thing is right up your street. Like, I think just, having that kind of ballsy approach as well and having that confidence, most things come after that. So I think it's amazing. So what's next for you? Because you said before that you love your job. Like, what's next for Sarah? What's going to happen now?
Yeah, I've kind of identified a couple of things that I'll be looking to kind of reach, and as we all know, I love a goal. So I've got personal aspirations, and I want to mix that with my work as well. So in an ideal situation, this is my dream, if you like.
Go on.
Would be to continue living here, because that's something that's really important to Aaron. And I would love to be able to have the flexibility to have my own thing going as a coach type, business coach type thing. Yeah. That gives me kind of freedom to nip back to the UK, a good couple of times a year. So that's the ideal situation. That's the goal. Yeah. I've identified a few things to kind of try and get me there. And but again, in true Sarah style, I'm not giving myself a lot of time. So yeah.
But do it. The thing is, and I say this a lot, like when your back's against the wall with a shotgun to your head, you have to think really sharply. Like, there's no time to dither. I mean, that would be funny. You don't want to be sitting there going, when you're 45, going, oh, I wish I'd have gone down that coaching route. No way.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I'll give myself a couple of years, but I love getting chucked in the deep end. So it's something that I'm just going to dive into, literally now, basically. I'm connecting with a lot of people that I've seen on LinkedIn, and just gathering information, advice, and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's great.
Well, here's an idea that we obviously launched the WOWW by Design Development Program in the UK, and probably about 2 months ago we launched it in January, and it's basically a 2-year program, right? But why don't we talk about you launching it for advisors and practice managers in Australia? Because we had some interest when I did the tour. So I've obviously kept in touch with a lot of the advisor firms in Australia, and there's no coaching for them. None at all. That would make you Sarah Miss WOWW. You know that, don't you?
Oh, lovely.
You'd have to have sparkles and glitter on most days. Glitter lipstick comes as standard, just so you know.
Yeah, right.
But well, exactly. I've got red glitter sparkle lipstick upstairs. We're all over it. But I think the coaching thing for you is a real great idea. I think it's right up your street. And financial services is a market you've stayed in, and they're so desperate for help, genuine, hard-working help. And I think that's what you would bring in abundance. So maybe we have a chat about that and see if we can get something going. But it's been absolutely, I love keeping up to date with what you're doing. Just your fashion items alone is something to be admired, I'll be honest. And you are, although not today in my mind, because I'm in my boring blue top, but I think it's great what you're doing. So I've loved doing this. I think we definitely need to do another one, because I think there'll be people that will be very keen to see how your adventure unfolds. And you are an inspiration to lots of people, so never ever forget that, ever, because it's important that All right, you're welcome. Yeah. So I'll stop recording, and then we'll probably have a bit more of a girly chat. But thank you very, very, very much. And if anybody wants to keep in touch with Sarah, check her out on Instagram. You'll have body envy regularly, like big time. But thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. See you later.